So this challenge is the most difficult so far by far. This one took me around 6 hours and 15 minutes to complete. And for this one, we're going to start out with a stun grenade, switch to the shotgun, and 2 shots to the back of each one of these Romanov's tanks will destroy them. Now, if you line it up right sometimes, you can kill one of them, and it will bust into the second Romanov, killing the second Romanov instantly. So there is a way to do that, which I get sometimes, but it's rare. So I just try to take them out immediately. And then we're dealing with these shotgun robots, which are some of the most annoying enemies in this entire challenge, because they do show up in the final phase as well. It's 5 phases as usual. So now we're just doing a little cleanup. Now, if you do get it right, you can also blow up a bunch of them while you destroy the Romanovs when the Romanovs explode, but that's random for me. I don't actually go for that. But, to finish them off, just roll around, use your slow motion, and use your heavy machine gun or assault rifle to take them out. Go for headshots for more damage. Now for this, we're going to take out the head of the first Romanov on the right of that rock, which is going to be a cover spot I use for this part. Now we're working on taking the second one's head off. Now, in between that, let's take out all the spiders. That's what I'm trying to do here, is clear out all these spiders. So, first I'm just trying to de-head the first 2 Romanovs that are right by me. There's a third one all the way in the back that we'll deal with later. So let's get this guy's head off here. It gets a little tense sometimes, but once you get his head off, he won't be able to see you, and he's just going to run around and go crazy. But he is very inaccurate once he doesn't have a head. Same with the other one. So we're not going to worry about them for a while. Now we're just going to try to clean up these smaller, like, robot enemies that are running around. And if there's any spiders left over, try to clean them out as well. Now for this phase, you can also sit all the way at the back, and you can try to spawn kill everything. You can use the LFE gun to shoot a big bubble that spawn kills a bunch of stuff. So you can do that, but I didn't really like that method because it put me in a compromising position all the way in the back, and it's not really the way I practiced it. So I kind of came up with my own routine for each phase. So this is what I stuck with. And a lot of times I could beat it playing like this, even though it is very dangerous. My skills were starting to come together on this mission because it took me so long. I had not played the game in such a long time when I came back to these challenges. Having beat Godhard twice in the past, but it's been a few years since I played this game, and I'd never really worked too much on the challenges, so I thought it was time to finally finish them. So my skills are starting to come back here. So for this guy all the way in the back, what I'm waiting for is for him to shoot a large missile. So once he shoots a large missile, you see I shot it with the assault rifle by activating the slow motion and shooting it as it's coming out of him, the large missile. And if you do it right, you'll kill him in one hit. I don't think it went through properly, so I'm probably going to try that again. The good thing about blowing that up on him is that he will also blow up when he dies, and he may take out some robots next to him. But I'm kind of just waiting around now for that big missile to come out of the robot in the back. And then I'm going to activate my slow-mo and try to take the shot again. So let's see if I get it this time. I think I got it there. And you see that one shot's the Romanov. So you don't have to worry about going through the whole process of trying to kill him slowly. So whenever you can do that, it is useful to take those out in that way. It's a lot faster if you can do it. So now we're just finishing off a few scragglers. Of course, headshots with the assault rifle or the heavy machine gun works well with the slow motion. So just finish them off. There really is a routine that I employ for each phase for the most part. Now, the final phase, I just had to improvise. I only got there a few times, and I didn't have a lot of time to figure out a strat. Because the only way to get there is there's no save state practice, so you got to go through like 12 minutes or so each time of a successful run just to get there and get a little attempt for a few seconds. So it's very easy to die again and again and have to repeat the whole set of challenges. That's what makes these tough, is it's more of an endurance, and you got to repeat it a lot. So here I'm getting the LFE. I'm picking up any extra shotguns. I'm picking up extra heavy machine guns, because if you have full ammo when you pick them up, you upgrade them. So it is worth picking up everything here. But my loadout is LFE, heavy machine gun, and shotgun for this upcoming wave. But make sure you pick up all the stuff and get the upgrades and shit. Remember that upgrades on the field also refill all your ammo. So utilize that for extra ammo if you need it for any weapons. First, I take out that flying guy in slow motion with the heavy machine gun. Then I clean up these guys with either the Well, actually, I'm using a heavy machine gun to take out these red gorgies, so very easy to take out. You don't even have to use slow motion for them. They're the easier gorgies, so I do use some slow-mo, but I try to aim a bit high on their body so that I can increase my chance of hitting them in the head. You know, the heavy machine gun has a little bit of a sloppy spray. It's not the most precise, sniping kind of weapon, but if you line it up right, you can get some headshots, which take them out fast. So now I use the LFE to push back this boss called the Unknown. I fire the LFE whenever I run out of heavy machine gun ammo, or, when I have to reload my heavy machine gun, I should say. I will fire an LFE to kind of push him back, and I also just fire it at the boss in general. But this time he wasn't really cooperating. He got kind of stuck here. He didn't even seem to be taking damage from my LFE for a while. And I had to kind of get him out of this. It was almost like a glitched position. Usually he's very aggressive. But you will see my strat once he gets moving. But I did waste a bunch of ammo because for some reason he wasn't even taking damage. I think he got glitched out or something. Very, very odd. But I think he will eventually get unstuck. You're probably not going to have him get stuck like this, which is good because I wasted a lot of ammo. It would have been easier just to fight him normally. That's a one-hit kill, that grab that I just dodged. If he grabs you with that, it's instant death. And there is no way to wiggle out of it or anything. You just die. So always want to keep a decent distance from him just so you don't get grabbed, because that will be an instant death. And I have gotten killed a number of times from that. So you got to be careful. I also use my shotgun to push him back as well as the LFE. It'll push him back. So now if you can, and you have a melee move available, I like to melee this thing while it's out, this red ball, but I didn't have any available because I used it up. I used up all my slow motion meter, rolling around and shooting at this red thing, which is mostly what I'm doing. The time to shoot on him is when he has that red ball out and he's trying to fire his lasers at you or something like that. That's when I like to roll around and activate slow motion and take my shots. It's the easiest time to hit it. Otherwise, you don't really damage him if that ball is inside all of his armor. I don't think it'll connect. So I wait until he's doing that move with all the lasers. And the main thing with this guy is just keep your distance. Stay about mid-range at all times or even far away, but don't get too close. And if he is getting close, you push him back with the shotgun or the LFE. But I wasted my LFE. So I use a stun grenade here because there's going to be a refill here as well. Now, that time when I melee'd him, I think it did some damage, but it made him kind of fall apart. But it's usually better to use it when the red ball is out. I just wasted it there because I was like, I can retreat to the back easily enough. He doesn't have many long-distance attacks. He does do the laser and some machine gun, but he's not too dangerous if you keep him at range. He's pretty easy to deal with as long as you take your slow motion shots and be patient. Just don't let him get too close. See, he could have easily grabbed me there, so you got to be careful because that is a one-hit death. I wasted so much ammo on him this time because he got glitched out where he wasn't taking any damage, so that made me expend a lot more ammo. I was pretty much empty on all my ammo, but I was able to do it. Not the best demonstration though, because usually that's a very rare event. He seemed to be glitched out for a while and not taking any damage. So an important thing here is that there are some stun grenades to pick up, as well as picking up your usual weapon pickups to either refill weapons or upgrade. You'll see what loadout I have going into the next area. Also in that first area, all the way in the back where that gate is, that's where there's kind of a safe spot where you can use your LFE gun to kind of spawn kill the waves of spiders and the brown gorgy robots, but I didn't do that here. So now there's a very specific routine I use for this, and it's not perfected, but I got a pretty good routine here. So what I do is I take cover immediately at this destructible cover, and I'm waiting for the flying guys to come in. As soon as the flying guys come in, I throw out a stun grenade. This will kill all of them instantly. I also light a cigarette, toss the cigarette, and now I start boost dodging to the back. I throw another stun grenade here. I pull out my shotgun, and now I start taking shots at the back of this tank. And I ended up using another stun grenade, too, just to extend my timer, so I have more time to take my shotgun shots. I did waste all my stun grenades, but I ended up not needing them. So I figured I would just kind of wing it without the stun grenades for the last phase, which is, it would have been nice to have them, but I really didn't need them. I wanted to make sure I beat this phase. And then I just clean up any remaining. The good thing about using the cigarette is it distracts the enemies massively, and you get 3 of them, I think, for each challenge. The way you use the cigarette is you take cover and you press your thruster button, which is LB in my case. And that will, when you're in cover, if you press LB, you'll throw out a cigarette. You do need time to light it and throw it, but it will massively distract the enemies. It's almost like another stun grenade in a way. It makes the enemies attack where the cigarette last went. And it's a way to pull a lot of bullshit in this game, so it works great for that. So make sure you get your rocket launcher for this next phase coming out. I got rid of my shotgun for the rocket launcher because I wanted the LFE. I wanted to keep the LFE because it's a good pushback weapon to get the Romanovs off my ass and shit like that. Because there's going to be 3 Romanovs, and there's going to be a Code Viper or a Viper, and there's going to be a bunch of shotgun blue robots flying in, and it's going to be in a very narrow space, all up your fucking ass pretty much. This is a very hard phase. So what I like to do, or at least what I did, was I threw all my regular grenades, basically got rid of all of them. I throw a cigarette first, then I throw all my grenades. I throw one at the Romanov, then I threw 2 of them in the area where all the blue shotgun guys are. I wanted to wipe them out fast. I used my LFE to hit one of the blue shotgun robots, and then I start rolling to the back. And I think the cigarette kind of distracted the enemies a bit so I could roll to the back, but it's hard to say. I just started using everything I could to try to survive this part. So I'm using my rockets here when I have the Viper, the Crystal Viper grounded. I got an easy rocket blast, and I'm, shooting rockets at him, and eventually I'm going to get a rocket refill. In the meantime, I'm going all the way back here to the back of the arena, taking cover behind trees and shit like that, and I'm focusing on taking out these blue shotgun robots first. These are the main priority. Because with these guys flying around, they're pretty much the most lethal enemies in this challenge. So having them flying around is super dangerous when trying to deal with all this shit. So I am at low health a lot of times, but I just roll until I can take cover, and I'm able to survive. This was the way I was playing it. I didn't really have a good strategy for it. I just had to improvise. So I'm using the LFE to push these Romanovs back a little bit. And I'm kind of just taking shots where I can get them, you know what I mean? I'm not really prioritizing anyone. I probably want to get rid of the Viper. So I think I got him, I got the Viper out of there. And now dealing with the 3 Romanovs is somewhat easy, just because I've dealt with a bunch of Romanovs before, but not in such a small space. So now I have 3 rockets because I got the rocket upgrade, which refills your rocket launcher. So, save the upgrade for a rocket refill. I was able to kill that guy with a single rocket because he had a missile coming out when I fired it. So instant kill there. But yeah, for that challenge, for that last phase, I really had to improvise. I didn't have a good plan for that, but it worked.